Do you remember the Trump Kamala debate? Did you watch it? I didn't really watch it.
I watched part of it, not all
Okay.
of it.
Who, public perception, who won that one?
Harris.
Harris, right?
Yeah.
I would say most people would say Harris won, right? This is from a little way back, but this is interesting because TikTok basically scored Trump versus Kamala Harris here. So on the left side, there's a Trump video with his closing statements. That video got 1 million likes and then 58,000 saves. And then on the right side, you can see Kamala Harris has 176,000 likes and then 8,600 saves, right? So it's interesting because I'll let you just take a look at that.
Yeah, so Trump pretty much got a little bit more than 5x the amount of hearts.
So I have some thoughts here, right? I don't think this is apples to apples comparison. I don't think this is fair to judge it, but here's what we can say. I would say that sometimes when you find the right moments to clip and the video does well, then like, for example, I think Trump had a super strong closing statement. That's probably going to do better. Maybe the hook is better, right? It's going to do better in social. I don't think it matters if TikTok is a left or a right platform. So it just goes back to marketing 101 again. I don't think in this case...
Was this TikTok or X?
This is TikTok.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think this person says that, oh, like Trump won or whatever. I don't think that's the case. The case is that clip was better.
Yes.
You know, that's all I can say about that. So, but also keep in mind too, this guy tweeted this. It got 2.3 million views. So sometimes the way you craft your story and then you post it on X, and X is more, you know, right-leaning, right?
Yes.
Then it's going to get a lot of views. So.
But Eric nailed it. It doesn't matter which candidate is better or worse. You can adjust things through marketing, the specific clip, the hook, the overall story that they're telling. All of these things are part of their algorithm. For example, if the Harris clip wasn't that engaging, even if it was better, it just wouldn't be shown to as many people. Versus if Trump said something crazy, I'm just making this up right now, people may be intrigued and continue watching just because they may be in shock or they don't believe what he's saying, right? Things like that can cause more views.
Yep. And by the way, like I didn't see the debate, but she could have done really well up to the end, and then maybe he had a really strong closing statement, and that's why that statement gets more views, right? So I don't think that's a fair way to judge it, but you know, this is why I think what we're saying here is it's very easy to manipulate whoever you're broadcasting to. So just be careful when you're being manipulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you look at the clips, at least from a presidential election, forget what's shown on social media, or forget what these polls say is who's going to win. Dude, the Republicans vote Republican, the Democrats vote Democrats. The way you win is you get all the people in the middle one way or another.
Yep. I got to take a minute to tell you about the Agency Owners Association. This is a peer group for agency owners. Think YPO or EO, but for agency owners. And I just wanted to read you a couple of testimonials. So this first one comes from Carrie, and we asked her, what do you like most about the group? She said, having a group of people to discuss and bounce ideas. The leads are great too. Yes, we share leads in this group as well. This one from Alian, he says, the ability to really post whatever I want and need, and the group responds. Great experienced members, getting a lot of insights from conversations with other members. Getting a lot of value from sessions from Eric, getting advice from others as well. And so if you want to grow your agency faster and you want a peer group to do so, just go to marketingschool.io/agency. This is a group that both Neil and I created. And our hope here is to create a vibrant community of agency owners and do a lot more with it in the future. So again, marketingschool.io/agency, and we'll see you inside. So you know RX Bar, right? You know how they have like all the ingredients on the first
on the cover.
On the cover, yeah.
Yeah,
so it's like 2 eggs or like 4 dates or something
Yeah.
like that, right? So this guy over here, Mark Gallo, tweets this. He says, this is the future of beverage ingredients, like on the label, right? So you can see like all the beverages are there, and we'll put this on YouTube. But you can go ahead, call out what you're seeing.
Yeah, what's really cool about this is you can end up seeing the beverage, but it's highlighting not just the ingredients, but the bar is based on what portion is from what it looks like.
Well, this is a bottle.
Yeah, I know, but on the bottle, there's a label.
Yeah.
It looks like the bars are different heights based on how much of that ingredient is in there.
That's correct. Yeah. And so like I think that's good because even at the dinner we're at yesterday, and we should maybe talk about the dinner a little bit. So a lot of people are questioning how many ingredients are in your like AG1, right? As an example. So we had Kat Cole come, and you know, we're talking about how like Brian Johnson, who's like a, you know, health influencer, right? He's kind of criticizing AG1. He's saying, you don't know how many ingredients are in there, blah, blah, blah. And then talking to Kat yesterday, she's like, no, like we do all these clinical like studies, like, you know, we spend a lot of money on it. Like everything's like really pure, right? So I think we're going to be expecting more transparency in the future. And even earlier
with this podcast, we were talking about Lunchly, right? Like parents do want to know what's in there, and whoever gets to this first, I think this is like a form of marketing because it's remarkable.
Dude, I'm with you at that. Even when I go to a grocery store, when I'm buying products for kids, I avoid things like food coloring and dyes. I avoid food that's not organic.
Or anything any ingredient that reads off like really weird.
Or anything that sounds like a chemical. Like if I look at the ingredient bottle or in the ingredients and I don't understand what the ingredients are, like a great example of this is cup of noodles. You know, when I was a kid, I ate cup of noodles.
All the day. Yeah, all day.
Look at the back of the cup of noodles and look at the ingredients. I don't understand what half the stuff is in the noodles.
Yep. And you do feel like crap after eating it. It's so good while you're eating it, but after you feel like crap.
I feel like crap halfway eating it, but I haven't ate one of those in so long.
Yep.
And I stick with that model. If I'm eating food, I want to know what's in the items that I'm eating.
Yep. 100%.
I want to take a second to tell you about my podcast co-host agency, so NP Digital. So Neil Patel Digital, what they do is they do a whole host of marketing services, and they are global. They're worldwide. They have SMB services as well. They have mid-market to enterprise services as well. They cover the entire gamut. So you can just go to mpdigital.com to learn more about it. And now back to the episode.
All right, this is the last thing we can talk about. Did you see that Pizza Hut will deliver a pizza with your resume on the box to a potential employer?
I did see that. That was all over the news. It was really cool.
Was it really? I mean, look, you've seen these boxes, right?
Yeah.
It has your name on it and everything. So, I mean, you want to talk about creative marketing? Like, I think that's creative marketing, right? So I don't know how much they're going to do it. I think this box marketing needs to be for, I guess, doing it to employers is neat, but like, what if you wanted to do it for like other situations? You know, like to a girlfriend or something, or like a love that you have.
Well, they end up doing it just for resumes, and I believe they're only testing it out in New York City, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean, and people are struggling for jobs right now. Unemployment's ticking up, right? And so this is a way to do it, and it's jumping on a trend, and it's doing something creative for an otherwise boring industry that doesn't really innovate.
Yes, and the goal from this with what Pizza Hut is doing is not trying to generate more money. They're not charging people to send their resumes out. This isn't a form of direct marketing. I would say it's more indirect, and the reason I say that is they're trying to help people out and get them a job. But at the same time, you know, they're saying, hey, your next Pizza Hut delivery may find you a new job. I think what they're doing from all this kind of stuff is A, they care for people, but B, this helps create more brand loyalty.
Yep. And they're like doing good for people.
Yes.
Right. And it's like, it's a remarkable thing. And oftentimes it's whoever's top of mind. Like just when people are looking for agencies too, it's really whoever's top of mind, right? Because 5% of people in market are ready to buy, 95% are not ready to buy. So you kind of have to stay top of mind, right? I think it's kind of like how Red Bull and Prada did this collaboration over here with the bikers like on a train. And you know, these collabs are cool. Like you do it with a luxury brand.
Is that real?
That's real. Oh, you think it's AI generated?
Yeah,
no,
it's the
real.
train looks a little fake, but that's Red Bull coloring it and all these bright colors.
Yeah, but it's Red Bull and Prada. I don't see the Prada portion, but it's pretty cool.
Speaking of Red Bull, I put in the sheet. Red Bull keeps getting press from an old video that they do. It keeps popping up on
I don't see this
social.
in the sheet.
It's towards the bottom on Red Bull's suspension.
But go ahead.
All right, so one thing that Red Bull has been doing is they create these amazing scenarios like, you know, going into space with a hot air balloon and then someone just skydives, you know, all the way to the bottom. Or they'll do something where motorcycles on a train that Eric just showed. Or one of the older ones is someone is just going crazy fast through like, not a mountain, but like the desert, and it's not all the same level. And the car is staying still and the suspension's just adapting when they're just ripping it and just going super fast.
Huh.
And people are like, wow, what a crazy suspension. And it's Red Bull all over the car. And I'm like, this is just great branding from them. Their name is everywhere because they're willing to do extreme stuff. I'm not talking about extreme sports. They're just willing to do extreme stuff that others wouldn't dare to do.
Same with their F1 team too. Like they've been like top, and now they're kind of declining a little bit this year. But the last couple of years they've been winning it. It's because they're willing to go the extra mile. They have the best driver in the world, right? And they're willing to make moves to do whatever it takes to win. So
who's their driver?
Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. But Max Verstappen is the top.
I thought the top driver was that Mercedes guy.
Hamilton? Lewis Hamilton? He's going to Ferrari now.
Is he getting old and not as good?
He's like around our age.
Oh, okay. So that is old for a driver.
I guess maybe he's a little younger, but he's in his 30s. Yeah, he's older for a driver. Yeah,
Got it.
But F1's great branding too. At the end, like who sponsors F1? Rolex, Aramco, right?
Yeah,
So, it's the
Emirates,
biggest
fly
company,
Emirates.
Yeah,
You see them all the time on F1.
yeah. And crypto.com for a little bit, but I don't think that worked out. But
Yeah.
Anyway, that is it for today, everyone. This is live from us at Inbound 2024. This is how seriously we take it, guys. Neil had to speak at a couple things. I have 4 things to speak at today. This is the 3rd one. I have 1 more. But please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. It helps us grow. Go to marketingschool.io/agency to apply for the Agency Owners Association. You can have a call with our guy, Austin, and we will see you tomorrow.